What's going on, everyone? You're now watching the greatest channel that has ever existed. My name is 𝘰𝘰𝘯𝘕𝘰𝘯𝘕, and I truly appreciate you guys for being here with me. Um, Today, we have a very special guest, 𝘊𝘰𝘃𝘃. He's very heavily into the cryptocurrency space, and I'll allow him to introduce himself.
Yeah, so Smooth and Crypto, Maxwell Smooth as the short handle. Been in crypto since about 2017. Been in a lot of different projects. Recently, loving TitanX and that ecosystem. Also love Pulsechain and PulseX and Hex and everything. But recently, my channel has pretty much been solely daily uploads for TitanX. So yeah.
Okay. So what made you want to get into this space? I mean, I guess you started in Hex, right? What made you want to get into Hex and then Postchain and then eventually TitanX and all of these other places?
Yeah, so well 2017 was mainly Bitcoin. I still have
Mhm.
a decent amount of Bitcoin in my portfolio, but Hex was just a very interesting project for me, based on mining your own inflation, right? Instead of doing a hardware or anything like that. It seemed pretty eco-friendly in my opinion. It was on Ethereum. I loved Ethereum, still have a lot of Ethereum. Um,
Okay.
but but you know, Hex was really interesting. And then when Pulse Chain started coming out, I just thought that was the most logical step for Hex, based on gas fees and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
Pulse Chain has been awesome, but Hex being able to mine your own Hex over time, right? I have a still a ton of 5555 stakes, and they are still looking good. One of the best decisions I've ever made for in crypto sense. I mean, it saves myself from really selling anything, which is awesome, and it
Okay.
kind of just keeps me along for the ride, uh, from when I started them to when I'm going to end them.
Okay, cool. Yeah, 555 stakes. What is that? How many years is that? Like 15 years or so?
Yeah, it's roughly
Yeah,
15.
about 15 years, yeah. So even me myself, I'm also started in Hex and then got into Post Chain. A lot of my stakes that I'm doing, I'm trying to time them to the top of the bull market.
Hmm.
It's supposed to happen, the end of 2025. So a lot of my stakes are going to be ending. I'm trying to load it right now, but it's not working. A lot of them are going to be ending like in about 600 days, 500 days from now,
Okay.
to try to time it, which is a good strategy, I guess. But
Hmm.
it might even be a better strategy. I was thinking about it now. Maybe I should have done it so that stakes end 5 years from now instead of like a year and a half from now, so I
Hmm.
can continue to make money because cryptocurrency is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Hex is not going anywhere, even though they're
Hmm.
trying to discredit him. They're trying to they sued him. The SEC sued him, but as you know, the SEC hasn't won anything major in the past couple
Nothing.
of years. They keep trying, but they keep failing.
Hmm.
What's his name? Gary Gensler. Eventually, he's going to win one of those lawsuits, but I don't think it's going to happen because cryptocurrency, especially the basic ones that you control yourself, like Hex and Pulse Chain and TitanX, is almost like finding gold in your backyard, and
Hmm.
then you start a mine. You created a mine in your backyard, and you started mining the gold. The gold is on your own property, and you're the one that put in the work to mine it. And you can hold this gold, or you can sell it for like food or for an apartment or something like that. So it doesn't make any sense to treat it like a security when it's actually a commodity. That's
Yep.
just that's why I think he's going to lose. So
Yeah, and on top of that, he's just kind of throwing darts at a dartboard, right?
exactly,
He's not really. He's just trying to get any of anything kind of done, and
yeah,
you know, he's going to lose a lot of them. And Richard is obviously gearing up. I mean, he has a ton of lawyers, and he's ready to fight the good fight, in my opinion.
hmm
I don't think he's going to take a payout, and if he does show up and gets in front of the SEC, he is going to absolutely embarrass so many people. So I don't think they are going to want to do that on live TV. I think it'll be somewhere behind closed doors, if anything, but they're not
hmm
going to get it to that point. I don't think.
When you say live TV, you mean that you think it's going to be one of those cases where they present it to the public? Some certain cases they present them to the
Yeah,
public to view the entire thing.
I think if they a lot of the SEC stuff is behind closed doors for the most part. But if it gets big enough and it affects as many people as I think this does.
Hmm.
I think it quite possibly could be on live TV, and if that happens, that's just going to be not only bullish for our, Pulsechain and Hex and stuff like that, but just bullish for crypto in general. Because Richard Hart has definitely been one of those guys that have been here since the absolute beginning, and
Yes.
he knows a lot about crypto, which is it's really impressive. And these guys are not are not ready, in my opinion.
In fact, Richard was one of the people that made Uniswap, the decentralized exchange for Ethereum ERC20 tokens. He's the one that made it actually very, very popular because he allowed people to get free hex at the beginning when Uniswap first came out. It's a long time ago. This the ancient days of like 2019 or 2018 when Uniswap first came out. So he's the one that made it so popular. So it's kind of curious the fact that you cannot easily, or in fact, I don't think you could get Uniswap right now. You can't get Hex right now on Uniswap at all. Yeah, so it's kind of funny. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, they have with any possible SEC stuff, a lot of people it's weird what they shadow ban and what they stop versus what they keep, even though the SEC has a bunch of different coins all locked in the same kind of thing. So some are still up there, some are not. But yeah, Uniswap totally derailed Hex even being listed on their platform to be tradable.
Yeah, to be honest, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, look right here. I try to type in Hex, and I know it's kind of hard to see, but you can see right now it's X'd out. So all these shit tokens right here, I can easily buy them. They can screw people over. But Hex that did a 10,000x return, like a 1,000,000% return.
Yep.
I guess Uniswap that's supposed to be decentralized ends up not being decentralized. Pretty much forbidding, going against the whole purpose of cryptocurrency is to make sure that there's no powerful players. But yeah, they went against their own grain. I don't know. They're going to have to go against it because they're going to have to reverse it, because I remember in 2021, Hex was like number 4 or number 3 in the market cap, and it's during its peak. So you cannot ignore a coin that's number 3 or number 4 and in market cap worth tens and tens of billions of dollars. It's impossible to do that.
Yeah, and on top of that, Uniswap has a ton of just fraud coins that anybody can put on Uniswap. So I don't understand what they're really going after, because there's some really, really bad ones. So
like literally look at this. They have poopy coin and I will poop in it NFT. Like these are not banned. This is literally the definition of shit token. In fact, its ticker is SHIT. Literally the definition. That's not a problem.
Yeah, that's okay to be up there, but not Hex.
But not an actual token that was worth billions upon billions upon billions of dollars.
Yeah, it's wild to me.
So I guess kind of going back, what made you want to get to create a YouTube channel? Is it because you wanted to make money, or you wanted to have fame, or you wanted to present cryptocurrency to the wider world, or maybe a mix of all of the above?
Yeah. So obviously making money from YouTube would be awesome, right? But overall, how I kind of viewed it is all my friends in the real world don't really know about crypto, and they're kind of tired of me talking about crypto to them, because it gets to be a word salad, right? You just keep you say, hey, I'm into this is what it's doing, this is why I like it, and they're like, dude, I'm just trying to watch a basketball game. You know what I mean? I don't care about this crypto. I barely own any stock, you know what I mean? So my first initial thing was bringing up YouTube for crypto, because I was watching a ton of it, and I just thought, hey, like, at the very least I can kind of get some stuff off my chest, talk about crypto I like, kind of talk with other people that are like-minded as well, and kind of snowballed from there. I took a huge break. During the bear market, I just was busy, kind of unmotivated, you know what I mean? But the past few months has been pretty nice with the uptick in crypto, and kind of found that juice again when it comes to making videos. So, but off and on for about a couple of years now.
Yeah, so I was about to ask. So I'm guessing you started your channel in like 2020 or 2021?
2021, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So same here too. I was kind of consistent, but like when the market started crashing in 2022, I took a little
Mhm.
break. I'll do like maybe one video a month or something like that. I started my channel like I would say the end of 2020, the beginning of
Mhm.
2021, around the time like at the very beginning of the bull market. So I made a little bit of money, but I was so greedy. I just had shiny object syndrome. So
Mhm.
I was just buying this crypto, that crypto, and luckily I still made a couple $1,000.
Yep.
But I learned from my mistakes. So now I'm going to be now that I know what I'm doing. Now I know which tokens to get into. Um, I know what to invest in, and different things like that.
Yeah, and you got to be battle tested, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if you haven't got absolutely rug pulled or been just buying tops or anything like that,
Mhm.
in my opinion, right, you're not ready for what crypto is, and you're gonna get swiped pretty quick. And it just feels good, having those L's, right, holding those L's for a while to then really buy good assets, long term assets, and know when to get in and out of certain things, and know when, okay, is this a top or can we go higher? What's the sentiment right now? What's the market looking like? And
Mhm.
it's really tough when everything is just ripping, right? To really figure out like, okay, is this actually what I need to buy or what I should buy versus uh, should I wait a couple days and just feel it out? But everything moves so quick in crypto. It's crazy.
Yeah. Have you been rug pulled? Like, which tokens have you been rug pulled in?
I mean, so the one of the narratives in crypto was definitely DeFi, right? Like
Yeah.
percentage yield DeFi. And I'm not saying I put a ton of money into anything, but something would pop up, say, you can earn 2% a day, right? And those platforms, right? Although they're very risky in the beginning, you can get 2% a day, right? And as people come in, everybody's getting paid out 2% a day. So the whole
Yes.
goal is to make your money back and then try to keep earning 2% a day. But it's like day 8 or day 9, and they just completely rug pull undoxed people and, just taking a
Yeah.
chance, right? And so I've definitely been into some rug pulls, but as time went on, right, I still held my Ethereum bags, still held my Bitcoin bags, and diversed into other good projects. And that's kind of when I had Hex, right? I mean, the smaller bullets that I had for those type of projects were, 0.5% of my portfolio, 1% of my portfolio. You know what I mean? Just
Mhm.
like, hey, that looks pretty cool. Let's see if I can make any money off it to roll it into other assets. But yeah,
Yeah. The one I got rug pulled in the most was internet computer money. I think that's what it's called.
internet money.
Internet computer money. I think,
Computer
yeah.
money, yeah.
And I don't even think it was internet computer money itself. It was a token that was related to internet computer money, and it was a token that would pay you. You would stake that token, and you get paid in the renewals or the inflation of that stake token.
Mhm.
And back in 2020, 2021, that's what everyone was doing. And some of them will be successful. I know that, what you call it, Pancake Swap did something very similar to that. So, but because Pancake Swap is so massive, it's so huge, they're able to, the inflation that you got from staking actually had real world value.
Mhm.
But if you compare that to a coin that's based off of another coin, it's very tiny. The inflation can go through the roof, and the founders could just, like you said, they're not docs, so you don't know who they are. The founders could just like pull out as soon as they want, pull
Yep.
90% of the market cap out, and just leave the 10% for the rest of the wider market, and then we all crash and die and
Yep.
burn. Like literally on that, because it was doing good at the beginning, and I didn't really do my research. I was just having shiny object syndrome. I didn't really pay attention to the tokenomics. I lost like maybe 5 grand, 10, something crazy, like 5 grand, 10 grand. That I couldn't really
Mhm.
afford to lose, right? So that's why I tell people only only put in what you can afford to lose, and
Yep.
also read the tokenomics, read the white paper. Don't just blindly go into it. Don't just blindly follow what I say, even though I've been into this. Do your own research, and you'll be fine. And
Yep.
you'll be
Yeah, and the biggest thing on that whole thing you just said is only put money in that you're willing to lose, and
Mhm.
that is very, very true. I mean, people, although you could be buying really, really good assets, right, in crypto, but you overextend yourself in real world, right? So instead of having a structured investment amount, say it's like $50 a week or $100 a week, right? Some people will just be throwing $1,000 this week, $1,500 the next week, and then a month later they're like, "Damn, I don't have any money." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I just have all this crypto, but I have no real world money. So, yeah, I think that's very important.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of a degen, so I don't really mind like eating peanut butter and jelly for the next year or
Yeah,
two. If I have
yeah,
to
my
throw,
girlfriend hates that.
yeah, I don't care. Well, she'll survive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You said your girlfriend? Yeah. My girlfriend, well, my ex now, I guess, because I was throwing too much
Mhm.
money into crypto. She was very annoyed with that too. But I'm like, just wait a year or two. You'll see the results. It's gonna be, we're gonna have Lambos and all that good stuff, right?
Yep, yep.
If we move properly, we're gonna have
Mhm.
Lambos. So you're probably gonna be driving my Lambo more than me, even though you were suffering because we had to eat cup noodles every single day. But yeah,
Mhm.
patience is. That's why I always say that. The good thing about crypto is that, oh yeah, people are like, oh, crypto is a get rich quick scheme or crypto is a scam. That's why a lot of people are like, I don't really want to get into crypto. It's not really a get rich quick scheme. It's only a get rich quick scheme if you don't know what you're doing, if you're not educated. Crypto is a get rich for sure scheme over time,
Yep.
over a couple of years. You will get rich for sure, but it takes 2, 3, 4 years for it to actually happen. It's not going to happen quickly. And you have to invest tons and tons of money. You might have to make some sacrifices, cup noodles, like we were saying, but it will work. But you just have to be patient, and you have to know exactly when to get in and to get out. And that's even one of the reasons why I made this channel. Yeah, it's nice to be fun. I mean, famous and all that stuff, but and to make some money from YouTube. But first of all, YouTube doesn't YouTube doesn't pay that much. I don't know if you're in the are you in the YouTube program right now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you know that YouTube doesn't pay that much. I think the best month I ever had, I got paid like maybe $40 or something like that.
Mhm.
$50. That was one of the best months I had. But otherwise, it doesn't pay. And I made $50 and I made like maybe 30, 35 videos that month. Right. So
Crazy.
it pays way less than minimum wage, but it's about
Mhm.
the love of the game and about, getting notoriety here. And the more people that I know, the more connections I make, the more meetups I get to go to and different things like that.
Yep.
So yeah, do you use crypto as your day job, trading crypto, or do you have another?
No, so I do I have a kind of a whole bunch of different things I do, to be
Mhm.
honest. I flip houses, I do home remodels, I
Okay.
sell window treatments, right?
Mhm.
Blind shutter shades, that kind of stuff. I have a lot of crypto, right? I hold crypto, I trade crypto.
Mhm.
And for the most part, I've been a real estate heavy investor for a while.
Okay.
And if you've seen my video I put up a couple weeks ago, I'm flipping a giant house right now, and this thing is like 6,600 square feet, and by the time we're going to be done with it, it's going to be like 7,400 square feet. So it's going to be massive, and so it's sitting on 10 acres, overlooking the water, right, and it's beautiful, right? So crypto is in portfolio wise, like maybe 15-20% of my portfolio, and that was just because I've had to do so much real estate stuff. But nonetheless, it is, I like it that way. I wish I had more. I wish I was
Mhm.
100% in crypto, in my opinion, but I'm so deep into the real estate that it's hard it's hard to like backtrack and get money from this to go to that. So um yeah,
Which video is it?
right there, third one.
Third one. Okay.
Flipping a giant house, episode 1.
This one right here.
No,
Believe it or not.
down to
Okay, I
almost.
see right here. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's crazy. Let me see this house. So you have to have a lot of capital though to be in order to be able to do this. Where'd you get your starting capital from? Are you allowed to say
Yes.
or?
Yeah, so well, me and my brother, we have a house that we bought and flipped, and we're living in a different house right now.
Mhm.
But one of our um one of our friends that he's retired, right? He kind of joined us and put a decent amount of money with us, and
Mhm.
so it's a partnership right now. But for the most part, me and my brother are designing it, doing a lot of the work, except for like the huge, big stuff, right? We do a lot of the remodeling work. We do a lot of the designing. But, you know, raising a roof, we have a different contractor that does that for us and stuff like that. So basically, it's just a partnership with another guy and past experiences and stuff.
Okay, nice, nice. Yeah, so I like the fact that you're diversifying from cryptocurrency, because honestly, I might be a little bit too heavily into cryptocurrency, and I'm doing it on purpose right now. Most of my savings, like 90% of all my extra funds, are into crypto.
Yep.
And the way I handle this in case it crashes is that I try to put them into things that I know I can pull out if I need to. So for my Pulsechain, for example, I'm doing liquidity providing, liquidity farming. So even though it's making money while I wait for the bull run to happen, if I run into an emergency, I can pull it out. I do the same thing for DXN. I'm invested into DXN, right? DXN, for those that don't know, you have to burn Xen to get DXN, and then DXN pays you every single day Ethereum, some Ethereum fees. So that one too, right? I put a lot of money into that, but I can pull it off if necessary. The only thing that I can't really pull out if I need to is TitanX, right? But even that one, I can get the money out in 9 months. 280 days is the maximum amount of time that I can do a miner. So worst case scenario, I just have to wait like 9 months and stuff like that too. So I diversify to get into that. And I say all that because eventually I want to get into real estate. Like after the bull market in 2025, I'm definitely going to take out, like, let's say, most of my crypto gains, most of my crypto profits. I'm going to take all of them and I'm going to put it to real estate and into stock markets and to other side hustles, because the market is going to, like, the market is going to continue to go down in 2026 and probably 2027. So during those 2 years, I need to be able to continue to grow my money and make more money. And I can't do that if I'm just waiting. Oh, please, Bitcoin, can you go higher? Can you go higher? And a lot of people don't realize that.
And being in the space at the end of where we were at the end of the bull market, it just shows, like, okay, how did I do in the end of it, and what should I do different this next time? And it really, and at the end you'll see the hold on.
Okay, I see it here. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a mud pit right now. We had to fix the front wall of the cement was kind of caving in. So, but yeah, so playing it differently and getting a bigger bag to get into real estate, that could possibly be the biggest thing, right? I'm doing that as well. And one thing I will say, and I say this all the time to my brother, right, is we have houses, but what's more important than how many properties you have is how many doors you have. So if you have a property with 6, 7 apartments in it versus 6, 7 different houses, right? You have less overhead, more money coming in every month. And possibly if you do it well enough in crypto, you might be able to pay that thing off right away. And then just have residual income coming in every single month forever. So it's a very smart play. And obviously you're pretty over leveraged in crypto right now, but it might pay off like 10, 12, crazy fold. So
that's I'm still youngish. So I still, even if I mess up, even if all the money crashes, I could wait another 5, 6 years and do the same thing again. So it's not really that big of a deal. That's why I don't really.
Yeah, and as long as you take some profits, you'll be able to do well.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the people that are, either retired or semi-retired from crypto have either got super lucky in one bull run, or they've been in multiple bull runs. So it's either or, really.
Yeah. In fact, this coming up one is going to be my 3rd bull run, technically. The first one I lost thousands and thousands of dollars. And I said, crypto is bullshit. I hate it. So I didn't do anything for 2 years. And then the one in 2021, like I was saying, I made a couple thousand. I was like, okay, fine. That's pretty good. And now the 3rd one's probably going to be better, hopefully. So I'm trying to increase my value 10 times every single bull run, I should say. Yep. In places like TitanX. Speaking of which, have you been to TitanX Hub, this website?
Yep. TitanX absolutely.
Hub? So what do you think of the new TitanX projects that are, I mean, projects that are building on top of TitanX, like DragonX or maybe Titan Legends?
Yeah,
Different.
so just those two projects being released, um, on the dashboard for TitanX on the stats, it is taken away 8.3 trillion tokens. So
Yeah,
just with two projects being released, and mainly DragonX is the main one that has taken out the bulk of TitanX.
mhm,
And so just imagine when we have 16 other projects, right? 15 more projects being built on top of TitanX to
yeah,
solely take away the amount of coins that we have in liquid circulation. So it's
yeah.
crazy.
It's crazy here. Actually, good thing that you mentioned that. The staked is being 26% of it is staked right now. Most of it is being done by DragonX because they do and they always do max stakes and every single
Hmm.
one of their payouts. They use it to buy some more TitanX and stick some more TitanX. So they're pretty much a juggernaut now. It may seem like a bad thing because other people that have stakes, they've been diluted, but it doesn't really matter because if you have liquid TitanX in your wallet, or if you have mines that are coming out in the future, the TitanX value itself will increase because so much of that TitanX is going to be out of the market forever. So it's
Yep.
almost like another version of a burn.
Yep.
So the
And, and also with Dragon X taking a lot of the ETH as well, they're still taking that ETH and not only burning Dragon X, but they're also burning Titan X with that ETH as well. So they're still burning both assets. So it will not only help Titan X, but it also will help the liquidity pair of Dragon X to Titan X, right? And the main liquidity pair between Dragon X is Titan X, and it doesn't have an ETH liquidity pair. So it's going to be net beneficial to Titan X forever. So
which one are you talking about? Are you talking about wait right here where it says buy TitanX for the I guess this is for staking for the vault?
yep, yep.
Or this one where you burn DragonX? Which one were you talking about?
So the buy Titan X for the Dragon X Vault. So
Okay.
that is taking the ETH and buying up Titan X to put into the Dragon X Vault to
Hmm.
then create a stronger liquidity pair between the two.
Okay. So this right here is not necessarily just a stake. This is a liquidity
Hmm.
pair. I mean.
Yeah, it's taken
Okay.
away Titan X from the open market. So it
Okay.
says total Titan X bought is $680,000 worth of Titan X. So it's bought 562 billion Titan X
Hmm. Gotcha.
from the ETH payouts from the staking pool that they were in.
Yeah. And then this right here is the total TitanX bot. Yeah, this is crazy that is bought almost was that $680,000 worth of TitanX, and
Yep.
it's only been out for what 2-3 weeks now.
Yeah, it's ending on the third
Yeah.
week. So the mint ratio is going to go down to 1 to 0.9. So
Yeah,
it's going
and
to be
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's going to be pretty interesting. After week 12,
Mhm.
the minting will be completely finished, and forever and always, Dragon X will become deflationary. So there'll never be more Dragon X minted after 12 weeks.
Mhm.
So it's gonna be pretty interesting to see where we are. I mean, we already have, it says current price of Titan X is 50117. Dragon X is 50121, and that's roughly
Yeah.
a 3% difference. And they were at a 1-to-1 ratio. So
Yes.
as that ratio for the mint ratio keeps dropping, I'm hoping, and this is kind of what it's designed to do, is Dragon X should pull away from Titan X a little bit, but
Mhm.
that will bring Titan X with it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. So here's the thing too. Ever since its inception, Dragon X has been either the same price or a little bit higher than Titan X, which is good, right?
Mhm.
But what if another protocol comes out and burns tons and tons of TitanX, and a lot of people just buy TitanX and they hold it, or maybe CNN comes out and starts talking about TitanX or whatever? Isn't that going to make the value of TitanX way higher than DragonX?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. DragonX is not always 100% always locked to the value of TitanX. You
Yeah.
understand what I
So
mean? Yeah.
Yeah, so with the normal and like I said, this is the only liquidity pair that DragonX has right now is TitanX, right?
Yeah.
And as TitanX gets heavier with more products and protocols coming out on top of it,
Mhm.
then TitanX will always be heavier than DragonX. But when TitanX moves up, they'll also bring DragonX up with it. And
Mhm.
since DragonX is lighter than TitanX, it should be a little bit more volatile than TitanX. So it's going to be super interesting to see what happens, especially after week 12. Because right
Yeah.
now it's bonded to what the mint ratio is, and it's inflating at these current weeks. So
Mhm. Did you buy some Dragon X yourself?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I minted uh, week 2, end of week 2.
Okay.
So I got the 1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah, yeah. This is pretty good. I see what you're saying. Week 12 is going to be 1 to zero point 0.5.
Yep.
So it's supposed to be wow, that's crazy. It's supposed to be double the value of Titan X. Okay.
Yep. And then after that, it's going to be uh, net deflationary, and it's just going to be buy and burned
Burning.
forever
Yeah.
and always. So
Yeah. That's crazy.
yeah,
I mean, if you think about it, this is just going to it kind of sucks now because all the coins are worth nothing. But if you just think about it, push it out into the future, use your imagination, the amount of burning that's going to happen is so wild, especially when normal people come in 2025 and they see, oh, what's this Titan X stuff? What's this Dragon X stuff? Oh, a lot of people made some money. Let me buy some. And then they tell their
mhm,
friends, and then it just increases the, okay, yeah, here's what you're talking about. So the supply of Dragon X is just going to continue to drop forever, forever. And the amount
yep,
of Titan X that's burned will continue to increase forever.
yep,
So it's going to, and as you can see, these lines are all exponential, or they at least start off exponential and they slowly reduce because there's not even going to be that much Dragon X or Titan X to even burn or to even have a supply. So
yep,
they can't even be exponential even if they try, which is a good thing for the holders, right?
yep. And to think in the future, right? Roughly, it's like day 2000 or day 2400 or something like that in Titan X. It'll be the inflation will be 800 Titan X per day being able to be mined. So right now we're at 5.6 million per day for a miner. Yeah, 5.59 million per day. So it'll go all the way down to 600. I mean, 800 per day
Mhm.
for Titan X.
Yeah, it's let me see, it's crazy. Yeah, 5.594. That's what you're saying per day
Yeah,
mining.
so that'll go down all the way to 800.
Yes, which is incredible. Yeah, if you just think about it in your head, compare $5 million to $800. It's not even in the same stratosphere.
Yep,
But right now we could get, and this is per day. We're
yep,
getting $5 million or whatever, 5 million Titan X per day. It's
yep.
incredible.
Yeah, and
Um,
after 350 days, the early adoption amplifier that's under that, it will go down to 0 as well, which will then bring less inflation as well. So
yes.
over time, it's just going to be a very aggressive amount of deflation that is going to happen. At least the floor of inflation is going to drop dramatically, and uh, Bitcoin's halvenings are every 4 years. Titan X is basically one every 200 and some days. So
Mhm.
it's going to be a very aggressive halving compared to Bitcoin.
Yeah. This is this is incredible. What other projects are you looking at, or maybe you're excited about? Uh, I know Helios. I keep hearing about Helios.
Yeah, I
And
did a live stream with Helios. I really like what they
okay,
got going on. It is pretty cool what they have, and not only are they going to be a to mine Helios, you have to give Titan X to start miners, right? And so
oh
the
look,
only
here's the
way to
video.
ever,
Look
yeah,
at
there you go. That's what's up.
that.
Uh, I like that. I didn't even see that, so that's sweet.
That's
Um,
crazy.
so basically, to mine Helios, you have to uh, sacrifice basically Titan X to start a Helios miner, and forever and always to get Helios, you will have to sacrifice Titan X. So
Mhm.
it net positive for Titan X is it will always delete some off of the market. But the one thing that's cool on the right side, you see the investment pool. After a while, it's going to
What?
be this is going to be a fully decentralized thing ran by a DAO, right? And the investment pool is not only going to be investing into TitanX and ETH, right, for the treasury payouts, but it can go into a whole bunch of different other projects and have those as partners to the Helios thing, which will then always benefit TitanX, which is
Mhm.
pretty wild. So it always comes back to TitanX, and the fact that for the treasury and staking Helios, you could get paid in TitanX, ETH, and whatever other coins the DAO says that, okay, we're gonna pay these out as well. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see long term.
Yeah, this is going to be crazy. I mean, this is kind of complicated. I need to look into the details of this and do a video on it actually. But what's your own personal strategy when it comes to Helios? Because I see there's so many arrows going this way, that way, different percentages.
Yeah.
What's your own personal strategy that you might do? You probably will do.
Yeah. So I'm more than likely going to start some Helios miners.
Mhm.
I'll do a little staking ladder with them. So short term, medium term, long term.
Mhm.
And they're basically, the max length is like 250 days. So it's not as long as TitanX.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely going to stake some just to be able to get more TitanX over time, more ETH over time, and then more cryptos other than those two over time.
Mhm.
And the nice thing that Helios did, instead of having a 3,500-day stake like TitanX did, they did a like 480-day stake or something like that. So it's a lot
Mhm.
shorter stakes. You don't have to put it in for 10 years or whatever, right? It's a couple years at the
Yeah.
max, and obviously you can go shorter. But I'm just gonna support it, spend some TitanX to get in there, right? And hopefully in the next couple weeks, it says mid-February. Hopefully in the next week or two, it'll be released. So definitely just gonna mine it and put some in stakes.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking of which, when do you think Hyper is coming out? Because as we can see, um, TitanX, the max amount that you can get in 9 months is only 163%, right?
Right. Yeah.
But this
Yeah.
number
And
used to be like 2,000%, 3,000%, like a few months ago, right?
yep. Yeah.
So don't
And it
even,
was pretty crazy on day one.
yeah,
After doing it, each miner at the peak of it was worth like 175 grand at the peak
really.
when it topped out. Yeah. So it was crazy seeing that number.
Mhm,
But and also the estimated ROI at the end of a miner, that's technically 263% because you're getting back your initial investment, which is
mhm,
nice too.
mhm.
But yeah, so my prediction on Hyper, it's 100% going to be released before Bitcoin halving happens, in my opinion. And
Mhm.
so I would say I was hoping for end of February, in my
Me too.
opinion.
Me
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So end of February would be awesome, and I think it'd be right on time. But
Mhm.
worst case scenario, March, early April.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sooner the better. Obviously, everybody is really excited for Hyper, and but it's a kind of double edged sword. As time
Mhm.
goes on, there's less stakes coming out, right? Less
Yeah.
miners coming out, so inflation inevitably will be lower than it was in the past month. So if
Mhm.
if it's timed right and we have less miners coming out, it should really go crazy. And in the next 90 days, we only have 5 days of a trillion tokens being minted. So it's definitely seeming like we're going to be right on time with Hyper.
Yeah, I think I was just like you said, I was hoping that was going to come out the end of February, but I think it will for sure come out before the halving, and I think it will come out like a couple weeks before the halving. Worst case scenario,
Worse.
because I think that Jake wants to have the other protocols use the buy and burn method. Um, See, like tokens like or places like Titan Blaze is 100% reliant on Hyper actually coming out, right?
Yep.
So in order for Titan Blaze to be successful, it needs to come out before the halving. and that means that it needs to come out. That means that Hyper needs to come out like a few weeks before Titan and Blaze, and then Titan Blaze has to come out a few weeks before that happening, right? So that gives you the end of March, worst case scenario. That's my guess too. So
we are both in the same mind frame. Like sooner the better, but before Bitcoin halving.
Exactly. So are there any other tokens that you are interested in besides TitanX? What we talked about, Hex, besides TitanX?
Yes. So for the TitanX ecosystem, KingX and TitanX market is going to be pretty interesting. KingX has the same kind of spin like Helios does in regards to, I mean, DragonX, it's going to be 17 days of minting. And then after that, it's going to be deflationary forever. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see. And then a lot of these other ones, I'm really waiting on the white papers to come out, right? Some of them have them and they're pretty good, but I would much rather have more kind of hard numbers in it. So KingX is definitely coming out soon, and I read the white paper, but I'm looking forward to my live stream with the guy that is doing KingX. So in the next, possibly this weekend, early next week. So,
oh wow, this is crazy. It reduces its inflation dramatically. It starts off at 1 billion, but then it goes, and these are hours. These are days. By day 17, it goes from 1 billion to 100 million.
Yeah.
So in just 17 days, it reduces 10x.
Yeah, after that, it's done. It's not going to mint. It's not going to mint ever again.
Wow. Okay. So that's similar to that's like a more aggressive DragonX, pretty much. Wow, that's incredible. Okay.
Yeah. So everything has a little different spin on how they can help TitanX. And overall, right, with the minting, it's, obviously you're selling TitanX to get something else, but people can't help themselves, in my opinion, on doing something like that. And it's going to be pretty interesting to see how much TitanX is going to be burned or minted or traded before Hyper comes out. Because if people are waiting for Hyper, like we said earlier, the shiny object syndrome, right? More projects are coming out, and they can't help but ape in to other projects before their so-called plan to get into Hyper.
Yeah. So we have some comments from the watchers. Thank you guys for watching. Fox Muddler says Pulsechain for the win. Yes, I think Pulsechain is still going to do very good. It's been doing pretty good for the past month or two. Actually surprised. I think a lot of people believe that the SEC case is not going to do anything. So a lot more people are believing in it. And you would think that people will be kind of scared to get into it, because every single time you go on the website, you have to click some weird link, 𝘊𝘰𝘯𝘦.com link or something like that.
Yeah.
To make it like more decentralized. Let me see. Like this right here. Yeah, you have to click the 𝘊𝘰𝘯𝘦 link to then go to the PulseX, and then it takes, this is pretty fast, but it takes usually like maybe 30 seconds. But people are starting to believe into the actual Richard Heart ecosystem. So yeah.
And on top of that, although it sometimes kind of defers people from not using it, right? But the people that are actually diehard crypto and actual decentralization kind of nerds, in my opinion, they're like, all right, I can run my own PulseX. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not worried about it. Let's run it.
Yes. And no one can pretty much stop us, right? Because it's decentralized, right? So
we're running our own node technically. Yeah.
Zibar says, good morning, all two cool YouTubers talking crypto good stuff. Thank you, Zibar. He also says, you know him?
Yeah. So he's technically part of the TitanX Twitter Spaces and stuff like that. He's in my lives a lot.
Okay, nice. He says our team is building a new protocol as well. It's called Baby DragonX. Okay, nice. A meme coin powered by DragonX, fair launch and coming soon. There was a meme coin that just came out. What was it called? JakeX or Jake?
JakeX. Yep.
Okay. JakeX. Did that actually do good, or was it just a flash, a spark?
Yeah, I'll bring it up. It was pretty interesting to see because at the peak, right, it's still doing pretty good. I mean, it's sitting on 0.002 or 302.
Can you share
And
your screen? I don't know if you can.
yeah, let me see. Hold on. Yeah,
Let me
so
see.
there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's sitting on 302.
Mm.
Liquidity sitting on 38K, which is pretty good in my opinion. And from the release to the peak, it was up 140,000%.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it went up 1400x in the first day. So it's
Wow.
had some retracements
Mhm.
from the peak, right? It like peaked at 0.001, which is insane.
Mhm.
And but the one thing they did was, they stealth launched it, right? So they just released it, and in the first couple hours, if you got in, you could only get 2% of the full, uh, 2% of all the coins. So
Mhm.
it was like 17,777,777. So
Mhm.
it helped, but in the beginning, you could only buy it was like $15 worth, right? You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it
Mhm.
wasn't like you were gonna drop 10 grand in it, it runs up 1400x and then you
Mhm.
can sell it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
they they definitely anti-whaled it, which is nice, but
Yeah.
you know, uh it's been trading sideways for a little bit now.
Yeah.
I definitely A lot of people missed it, and by the time it got up there, trading a meme coin to make 2 or 3x is
Exactly.
it's tough. I don't feel comfortable trying to just get a couple X's off a meme coin, in my opinion.
Yeah. And in order to make, so I even did the calculation. You said that you could only get about $15 worth, right? So let's say that you got in at the worst, I mean, the best time, and you sold at the best time. You could still only make about, was that $5,000 or so, which is not bad,
Yep.
right? You're turning $15 into 5,000,
Yep.
but very few people did that, and it was stealth launch too. So there was no way you could have known. The only way you could have known is just see someone randomly talking about it on Twitter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
So
I'll pull it up as well. So there's only 412 holders of this coin. So I mean, it's
mhm.
super low cap still. There's not a lot of people holding it, and as it's going up, there's some people that have a decent amount of money in there, right? So this is obviously the first two people that got in my in my opinion, right? And
Yeah,
then everybody else was pretty early on. But so there's definitely some people that got the scoop before other people, and that's kind of the name in the game for meme coins, in my opinion.
okay, gotcha.
But
Fox Murder says that, can you do anything with Dragon X you minted, or do you just hold it liquid? I know you can
at this
burn it.
point, it's liquid at this
Yeah.
point. But you know, Dragon X is also going to be releasing on Hyper as well in the future,
Mhm.
and they got some very interesting stuff they're building that they've kind of talked about, but it's been very vague. So that just the only thing I will say is they got stuff coming that you can do with Dragon X. So as of right now, you can just hold it, but in the future, you'll definitely be able to do some things with it.
Yeah, I know that Zen has been like that, right? Because you were able to get DXN from burning Zen.
Hmm.
And then if you burn DXN, then you can also get Zen on Mars and some other tokens too. So the burners can become the burners that can become the burners on and on forever. So some of them, if you get in early, you can make some money, but a lot of them might not do well. It depends on how popular the ecosystem is and stuff like that. Zibar says that for now, it's whole Dragon X. After baby Dragon X launches, you'll be able to mint it with your Dragon X and get cap supply token. Yeah. So here's an example of someone that where you can use Dragon X to get a different token, right? DJ 405 says, "What's up, guys? I caught you live. Thank you for joining." He also says the ecosystem is nuts. There's so many projects, but I only have so much TitanX. What the hell? Me personally, I'm just going to do TitanX and maybe Dragon X, but I think I'll just do stakes and mines for TitanX and see
Yeah,
how the
and
ecosystem does. Yeah.
yeah, and in my opinion, right, there's nothing wrong with just holding Titan X, right? If everything is built to benefit Titan X, then it's going to be solid to just hold Titan X and waiting a few weeks or a couple months for everything to release and just seeing what plays out and, what's a better play. I think it's still a smart play to just be patient because there's a lot of stuff being released for it.
Mm-hmm. He says, same DJ the 504 that says, I'm tapped out of funds. Yeah, people are running out of money to get into TitanX.
That's a good thing, though, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
it's a good thing to worry about. And on top of that, yeah, the 𝘰𝘰 is ridiculous right now. I just went to do a miner and the 𝘰𝘰 is 83. That's crazy. My fee was $35, so I just canceled it and we'll check later today to see if it's cheaper. Yeah, for guys, if the 𝘰𝘰 is too expensive, the 𝘰𝘰 has been very expensive for the past couple of days. I would just wait until like 1 a.m., 12 midnight, Eastern Standard Time at least.
Yep.
The prices are usually pretty low around between 12 and 3 a.m. Every day. And on the weekends, they're very cheap, all 24 hours of the weekend. So try to do it then. And
and speaking on the 𝘰𝘰, right? There's a project that's going to come out that is, going to bridge TitanX into Pulsechain. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how that plays out. And, obviously the white paper isn't out on that yet. But I'm really interested to see that because if you have TitanX on Pulsechain, right? And obviously there's less money on Pulsechain than Ethereum, right? And that was kind of a strategic thing to release on Ethereum. But nonetheless, I think if it has liquidity in Pulsechain too, I think that's really bullish for certain people to use, especially with cheaper gas fees. They can really gamify some things.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of tokens are doing that. It's actually encouraging to see new projects starting to continue to bridge their tokens over to Pulsechain. Because it's one thing to just start a new project on Pulsechain. Yeah, that's fine. But if you bridge these projects from Ethereum and Pulsechain, it makes it more likely that your project will be successful on Pulsechain if it's on both sides. Maybe that does hurt the price though on Ethereum, and that's part of the reason why Jake doesn't want to bridge it on Pulsechain himself, because you're having two different people put their money in two different places, or one person putting it in two different places. But
yeah, it's like a stock split. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, right, like when Hex, right, all the money was in Hex, split off into Hex on Ethereum, Hex on Pulsechain, Inc, PulseX, and PulseX. I mean, Pulse, it diversified all of the Hex money into 5 separate projects, and it took a while for it to come back up. And because it's a lot of money to be split up and figure out people's game plans over time.
Yeah. And I don't think 𝘰𝘰𝘯𝘰 is going to do any other new projects anytime soon. I know that he said a while ago that he was going to come out with a newer version of MetaMask and then have the, I guess, Pulsechain MetaMask tokens that are connected to that MetaMask. But I don't think he's going to do that anymore. First of all, he's not even really tweeting about his projects as much as he used to, probably because his lawyers are telling him not to tweet as much.
Yeah.
But he's just busy. And I think it's good for the whole Pulsechain ecosystem, because if you just let the tokens and the projects just stay, eventually more people are going to come into those few projects and they're all going to gain value individually. So it helps the new people and it helps the people that have been here for. I did a sacrifice for Pulsechain, right? So I did a sacrifice for Pulsechain in, what was it, 2020? Very long time ago. So we've been in it for years, right? So
same. It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while.
DJ the 504 says, did y'all see the post on X from Titan Project that will be on Polygon? Okay, so there's going to be a project on Polygon too. I was confused how that will affect the price of Ethereum. Did you hear about this?
I have not, but I mean, same thing we talked about with Pulsechain, right? It's just going to bring it's twofold. It'll either bring money, take away money from the Ethereum side, or bring more people on the Polygon side to TitanX. So it's either or both, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to what happened with Xen. Xen is on what, 16 different chains?
Yeah.
I think it's bad now. That's why the price of Xen is so low, because it's on 16 different places. But during the bull market, during next year, I think it's all going to be good next year. One, there's not that many other chains to even put Xen on, even if Jack wanted to do it. And number two, just people rushing in. And the people that own it, like I own some Xen I own most of my Xen is on OP Xen. So people that have their Xen on Optimism, for example, I'm never going to let it go. All the Xen I've been getting out, I've just been staking it, stuff like that. We have a comment from Zibar that says, almost 2 a.m. here in Singapore. Come check out the Baby Dragon Fair launch meme coin with utility. Okay, we'll check it out. He says, we meme coins don't bash each other. In fact, I'm an investor in JakeX, but I got it around 350,000 market cap. Okay.
Yeah, so
you know what,
211 right now.
211,000. Okay.
Yep.
DJ504 says, at this point, I'm just sitting on the sidelines, throwing a few miners are super low power. Yeah, that's all I'm doing. All I'm doing is just every time I get paid, you know, I invest in like a bunch of different cryptocurrencies, but I'm just making like a new miner every week or every 2 weeks, like that. Every 1 to 3 weeks, I'm making a new max miner. So I think I'm going to just keep doing that. And then I also compound some of my miners too. So I have some short-term miners that are like a month long, and I just compound them. And it actually makes, you would think it would do pretty bad, but almost all of them, even the short-term miners are like, I have some that are like 50 days, 60 days. They still are in profit. So they're in profit, and I can compound them into even more profit exponentially. Fox Muddler says, why launch on Polygon? Lame. Yeah, he's not a fan either. Yeah, it's true. It depends. It depends on how you view it. There's a new robot, TitanX NFT. Okay. And then finally, DJ504 says they are going to sell 288 NFTs on Polygon and bridge over half the value to Ethereum. Okay. That seems cool. It seems a little complicated, but we'll see how it does.
Yeah, I mean, any utility is good utility, in my opinion, right? And if people get into it, awesome, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's different people are going to or not, and you know, whether it's just to bring eyes onto it from, you know, Polygon, then cool. But if you're trying to start a Polygon side of thing, it's going to be pretty tough.
Yeah. Okay, so almost have to go. I asked everyone these questions. What's something that's non-crypto that you're into, that you're interested in? What do you do for fun on the side that's, or for work, or not so fun? But what do you do for that's interesting on the side that's not crypto related?
So I like fishing, but for the most part, I play lacrosse almost all year round. Yeah,
Nice,
so
nice.
I still play in men's leagues, and it keeps me in shape, keeps me fit. You know, I still work out a decent amount, but for the most part, it's by playing from the beginning, when I started as a kid to now, definitely am more athletic than some guys my age, which is nice. And people think I'm a lot younger than I am, but you know, I'm still running around like I'm like 22. So
really, I thought you were in your mid-20s. I'm guessing you're not. I thought you were in your mid-20s, like maybe 26 or something. That's
I just turned 30.
Okay, nice, nice. How old do you think I am?
I would say like 28 or so, 27.
Okay. I'm actually 34.
34. Yeah, we got good skin. That's why, you know.
Yeah, and I go to the gym too, right? I try to go to CrossFit, but CrossFit is brutal. The only reason why I go is because it's like after a while it gets addicting. That's the only reason why I go. But every day, like I come back and I'm tired.
Yeah,
so
it gets some aggression out too.
Hell yeah, it's definitely good too. But yeah, thank you, Smooth Crypto. Can you tell where everyone can find you? They can find your information.
Yeah, so Smooth Crypto on YouTube and Twitter. I'm definitely on Twitter a lot. I post daily videos pretty much on TitanX and the ecosystem. Hopefully, when all these projects are released in the future, I'll do a live stream every night based on everything. I think it's going to be enough content where I can do, you know, 30, 45-minute videos or live streams about the whole ecosystem. And right now, I do about a 10 to 15-minute video a night on all the stats and upkeep and everything. And for the most part, yeah, Twitter, YouTube, Smooth Crypto.
Okay, nice, awesome. All right, thank you for having this live stream with me. We should definitely do this again in the future. 100%.
Absolutely, I had a great time.
All right, thank you.